was nice.
Yeah.
And well, I want to ride that wave because I really want to talk to Charlie.
All right, let's talk with Charlie.
Charlie in Yakima, Washington?
Hi, it's Yakima, but yes.
Yakima.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hello. Before we get started, Via, I just wanted to say thank you so much. We emailed back and forth a while back.
Yes, I remember.
Everything that you said and did to me helped me so much, and I just wanted to say thanks.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
Just to catch you up, Eric, because you may not know, I think I may have emailed you. I did converted back a year ago.
Oh, welcome.
And I've been slowly but surely going through this process. And kind of what's happened for me recently, catching everybody up, is I got a hold of something called the BITE model.
Ooh.
And I made a realization that I was in a cult run by my mother. So my question for you guys is, and I know you guys have gone through this process, how long does this process usually take, first of all? And second of all, have you talked with anybody else that's gone through the BITE model? And my question about that was, how did they get past some of this stuff?
Great questions.
You take this first. I got to pee. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. So, Charlie, actually, I talked about this with on Mind Shift podcast, I believe sometime in November or October. And I empathize. I was also part of a family cult. And it was after discovering the BITE model, which, for those of you who don't know, the BITE model is behavioral control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. And if you have all four of those things, the likelihood is that you were in an environment that could be classified as a cult. And I realized, that's me. That was me. I definitely had to deal with that. And that by itself was massively reassuring to know that, okay, this is something that other people have gone through. This is something with a name, and this isn't me overreacting or making things up. Because unfortunately, those assumptions that I'm just making it up or overreacting are part of what happens when you've been living in the BITE model for a long time.
Exactly.
Yep. So I fully empathize with you there. In terms of how long it takes, do you mean how long it takes to kind of fully flush that out of your system, or what?
Yeah. I guess what I'm saying is to be able to start to become the real you. That was something Eric was just talking about. Becoming the real you, becoming who you really are. I'm still learning to love that part of me that's the real me. I feel like I have woken up from this long slumber of a dream of what I was whenever I was involved in this family cult. And I am starting to learn who I am. So I was wondering about that process of learning who you are and be able to finally come to a place where you're like, okay, I know and I like who I am. I mean, how long does that usually take?
Yeah. Man, I wish we could come to a consensus on that. But
that is a really hard, some people take a lifetime. And you're always going to be changing. But I think a decent indicator is the hurt.
Yeah.
It hurts. Yeah. It hurts to grow.
It does.
And I mean...
And it's scary, too, because it's like you thought you knew who you were, and now all these changes are happening, and they're happening so fast. I mean, I'm doing things that back then I would thought, God was going to strike me down if I did these things. And I'm doing them almost in a way, I hate to say this, but almost in a way I was like a test. It's like, okay, if you're really out there, then you can strike me down. There's nothing happening anymore. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. None of this was true. But then again, it's kind of scary. Like, who am I then if I can do these things that I never could do before?
Yeah.
How far will I go? And then the other thing is just the dreams. Like, I'll go do something that I know I wasn't supposed to do, but that programming kicks in and I'll have that horrible dream, like, you're going to hell, you know? And it's just like, how long will this take? It's been a year. How long will it take?
Yeah, I think, honestly, the fact that you are pushing yourself and doing things that scare you is, like Eric said, a good indicator that you're on the right track and that you're making that progress. And honestly, Charlie, a year feels like a long time, but it really isn't that long. You're not behind because you're still having nightmares about this. You're not where you're supposed to be. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. You're on time for you. And one thing that I would suggest is, so one thing that helped me a lot was once I realized that I had been affected by the bite model, was going to a therapist and focusing on some of the ones that I found gave me the most pause. So for me, information control, once I got out of that, I was like, cool, all the information, give it to me now. And I feel like I left that behind pretty quick. Thought control and emotional control, though, felt a little bit harder to overcome, especially emotional control. And it's something I still struggle with. And that's not a process that I can see ending anytime soon. I think I'll get better at allowing my emotions to be honest and open and not regulated by what is other people going to think and is this really how I'm feeling and all of that. But knowing that that's something you're working on and going to a therapist to work on that specifically was massively helpful for me. Do you have somebody you can talk to about that kind of stuff?
I do have a therapist I've been seeing recently. We've been primarily dealing with some other issues, but we've been opening up recently and beginning to talk about this and the need for me to kind of deal with this. We've talked a little bit about the dreams. Those I think are the hardest to wake up.
Yeah.
It's literally shaking and crying and like tears on your face. You're waking up with that, and you just for a few seconds felt like you were falling into hell. It is a very hard thing to go through, and that happens almost nightly for me.
Charlie, I want to give you the biggest hug. Aw, make sure you come by Austin sometime. We're giving you hugs over here. We wish you were here.
Yeah.
I wish it was there too, but it's a long way to go. I'm all the way up in the top part of the United
You're about
States.
as far away as you can be.
True enough.
Exactly.
But hey,
do
Portland is
take
not
the
as far
virtual
from Washington, and I'll be there in February. So if
When
you
are
want to
you
make
gonna
a
be
trip down, I'm going to be there February 20th through the 26th, and depending on how many people reach
Where,
out.
Seattle?
Portland.
Because of course.
Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, I could probably do that. When are you going?
I'm going to be there from the 20th to the 26th of February. I don't know exactly the dates that I'm going to have people have a kind of a meet and greet, but I have your email, so I will let you know when that date is.
I appreciate it, because I could definitely use a hug, but I'm accepting the virtual hug, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Good. And just I wanted to ask you, have you seen anything by Genetically Modified Skeptic?
No, I haven't. Genetically Modified Skeptic. Okay.
Yes.
I will go look at that.
Please do. So Genetically Modified Skeptic, his name's Drew, and he has done actually a lot of videos about cults. And the bite model, I see people in the live chat asking, what the hell is that? It is a model of cults that was created by Dr. Stephen Hassan that breaks down cults into very, very specific categories. And it's behavior, information,
Thought, and emotion.
and each of those have, and just the way they go through it and the way that they break it down is phenomenal. Also, he's a dear friend, so definitely check out GM Skeptic.
Okay.
For sure.
Definitely. So, yeah, definitely. I will check into that, because I definitely am needing to kind of like, you know, be able to branch out and talk with people that also are dealing, not just with atheism, but also with the other deal. I mean, I think I was a little surprised. I mean, I'm like I knew my mother was supposed to be, all right, she started off going to school to be a Baptist minister. She left the Baptist church because they wouldn't let her preach, and then started a home church. So I knew about all of that part of it, but I didn't think anything was bad about that per se until I sat down and realized, oh, you can't go to the doctor to get your teeth fixed because God's going to heal that, but my teeth never get fixed. Just all of those types of things, and not allowing me to get on the internet to study anything, and, always having to be there whenever I had to go, even like with school, she went through everything, and like she would go through the textbook and mark out pieces of them. And when I went to public school, because that's a lie and it's against God, and just total control over every bit of the information I got, what I'm supposed to feel, what I'm not, what I was allowed to do. I mean, we were never even allowed to celebrate Christmas or celebrate Halloween, of course. You would.
Oh yeah.
That. Yeah. But,
yeah. What you're describing is almost word for word my experience as well. I remember the horror of being 13 or 14 and having an infection and asking to go to the doctor, and it was a joke, but my dad was like, "Don't you just want to let it kill you so you can meet God?" I was like,
what the fuck?
No, I'd prefer to get antibiotics. That would be preferable. But no, I fully empathize with you. And I don't know if you were watching the video, but you got some love rings earlier.
Oh, thank you. I can't see the video because I'm here, but I will go back and look at it.
Yeah, and you're getting a lot of love in the chat too, so make sure to check it out.
Definitely.
I will.
Thank you so much for calling in, Charlie. I will definitely be in touch with you about dates for Portland.
Awesome. I definitely want to see you there.
Awesome.
Can I give you one more suggestion?
Give you a hug.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Go ahead.
Didn't mean to jump in. One more suggestion. Another really good friend is Telltale. He came out of Jehovah's Witnesses and does a lot of, talking about how that kind of stuff fits in as well. Super, super neat dude. So, and a great artist. So definitely GM Skeptic and Telltale.
Okay. Definitely will.
Rock on. Thank you,
back.
Charlie.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys again for talking to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your day.
And thank you for all that you do.
Thanks for listening.
Okay.
Aw. Look at that. You're doing it.
I'm doing it.
You're speaking up and people are finding that voice. That's awesome.
It's exciting. Almost as exciting as the fact that I'm still ahead of you on Twitter.
Are you? By how much?
1.
By 1. You motherfucker. Someone in the audience was just like, I just subscribed to V. That's me. Look, I've never begged before. And I won't. It's okay.
You're using it on this? You got 1.
Nope. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.